got big money, I drive big cars, everybody know me. It's like I'm a movie star, everybody know me. It's like I'm a movie star, everybody know me.
Hey, what's up everybody? It's the holiday season and I'm back with another episode of the Analog Drift, so thanks for joining me. As always, I'm your host, PSN ID Platinum Dragon 7, and you can find me at analogdrift.blogspot.com for all my other videos and posts, and you can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/platinumdragon7. Now, I haven't done a video in a while because I've been busy with holiday things, and actually I've been playing a lot of video games lately too, just doing some research and stuff like that. Mainly Uncharted 2, WWE Smackdown vs. Raw 2010, and Assassin's Creed 2. All awesome games. Smackdown vs. Raw 2010 came out this October, and I picked it up on my sabbatical from blogging. This year's game improves upon last year's game by leaps and bounds. We have trophy support now on PS3, and some of the new gems that they have this year are create a top rope finisher, create a logo, and create a storyline, a custom storyline, which makes up for the fact that the Road to WrestleMania mode is pretty crappy as always. I don't really like the stories that they come up with. So if you don't think they do a good job, you can try and make your own story and see if you can do better. So I'm working on one, but I haven't come out with anything yet. I'm kind of piecing together the master plan. I'm a perfectionist with stuff like that, so I tend to just like plot and plan and everything, and sometimes my ideas don't come to fruition. But anyhow, I'm definitely having a lot of fun with the logo editor though. As a graphic designer, the tools are easy to pick up and use, and you can create pretty much anything. Bad part about the graphics tool is though that it seems when you apply the logos to a wrestler, it blurs the logo somehow, so they end up looking a little bit different than what you originally designed, which is kind of a flaw in the game. I think they do this to make it look like a higher resolution when it's really not, because the biggest logos you can make are only 256 by 256, and basically compared to the size of the logos that they have on the wrestlers, that's like a little speck like this, and then you're stretching it out to fill up a t-shirt or something like that, so it ends up looking a little junked up. But it's nice that you can do stuff like this. The NWO logo I made comes out looking pretty sweet, and a few other things that I made, so it's pretty handy to have that in there. You can make almost anybody with this. You can go back and make, you know, big Hulkamania shirts, since they don't have Hulk in the game this year, and TNA logos, NWO like I made, all kinds of stuff. It's pretty cool. And the top rope finisher creator is pretty much what you'd expect. It's like last year's finisher creator, which is still in the game, but basically you'll chain moves together to make an animation. So you'll start with your wrestler standing on the top rope and or the turnbuckle, and you would do an animation. You could say like do a taunt or do a leaping animation, and then you have certain animations you can do in midair, like a going out for a frog splash, and eventually getting down to what happens when he hits the wrestler. So it's okay. I mean, if you know of some kind of move that you love that other wrestlers do, but it's not in the game, you can try and recreate that there. But with all the moves that they have in the game, I don't see you missing out on too much if you don't create any top rope finishers. The only thing that I'm really disappointed about in this game this year is that they still haven't done anything else with the online mode. They really need to do something different, because it's been the same since I think 2005 or 2006 or something like that. But if they would just throw together some kind of online brackets that you could sign up for or something like that. I know EA has done competitions in some of their past sports games. Maybe if they could mimic those types of things, they could come up with a pretty decent online mode. The one thing I'm disappointed about this year though is they still haven't added any improvements to the online modes. It seems like it's been pretty much the same since 2006. I'd like to see them add some kind of online tournaments, maybe have some tournament brackets where you could say set up a match with another wrestler, and if you guys hook up and whoever wins the match would advance, and then basically work your way down to a championship or something like that, and then that would be published on some type of online site where you could view people's rankings and things like that. They really need to do a lot to improve the online experience because it's pretty crappy and it hasn't gotten any better. So that's pretty much it for SmackDown vs. Raw 2010. And for me, with all the improvements they made, and even with no improvement in the online, this game still gets a 4 out of 5 because I'm such a big fan of wrestling, and it does everything I needed to do except for the online thing, of course. But good stuff. So go out there and pick up SmackDown vs. Raw 2010. Let's see, next on my list of awesomeness this year is Uncharted 2. And this game's exclusively for PlayStation 3. This is the #1 reason to own a PlayStation 3. It's one of the best single-player experiences of all time, and it's got awesome multiplayer too. So this is definitely a must-buy for any PS3 owners. And if you're a 360 owner, why don't you just come on board, come on over, and get Uncharted 2. One of the most impressive things about the game is how the environments change during gameplay. They structured the game in a backwards way where the some events that happen later in the game you'll play first, kind of like movies do. They do that so that they can pull out one of the most amazing scenes in the game first and have you play that just to really suck you in, so you see how good this game is going to be. It's the train scene. You start off by climbing up this wrecked train car that's falling off a cliff, and as you're climbing up it, little pieces of the train are falling down at you, and it'll break off part of your path and you'll have to go a different way, and it's really amazing to see. And there's another part of the game where you're traversing a building, and all of a sudden a helicopter comes out and it's bombarding this building with rocket fire, and the building starts coming down, and you're fighting guys while this building is collapsing, and then eventually you have to jump out into another building. It's pretty sweet. This game is very heavy on shooting, and the shooting part of the game is very good. I enjoy it where I don't enjoy most shooters. This actually feels kind of Gears of War-y to me because I really like Gears of War, so that's pretty awesome. And it's also got some great climbing puzzles, which is good for me because I enjoy Tomb Raider a lot. And they're not quite as what do I want to say? The climbing puzzles in Uncharted 2 aren't as challenging as they are in the Tomb Raider games because basically they just kind of hold your hand through them. You can clearly see they'll turn the camera towards the next place you need to go, or he'll pretty much say, hey, hint, hint, I think we need to go up there and pull that switch, and this kind of thing. So they could have left a little bit of the hints out and made it a little bit more challenging, but they're still fun, they're still rewarding in some respect. But I mean, there's no point in the game where you get frustrated at any of the climbing puzzles.